Once upon a time, there was a girl who walked into the fog without knowing she had crossed a line. At first, she thought it was only mist, cold air, quiet ground, nothing dangerous. But the fog grew thicker with every step. It swallowed the trees. It swallowed the sky. Soon she could not see her own hands. She stopped walking. Her heart slowed. The silence pressed close like it was listening. She carried a lantern with her. She always had. But it was dark, empty, cold. She did not remember when the light had gone out. The forest around her felt old, older than fear, older than memory. Branches creaked above her head. Leaves whispered under her feet. Every sound felt closer than it should. She waited for something to happen. Nothing did. That was worse. So she walked again. The path under her feet was barely there. Sometimes it disappeared completely. Sometimes it split into 2 or 3. She chose without knowing why. The fog made everything feel unreal, as if the world had forgotten how to exist properly, as if she had forgotten too. She felt lost, not just in the forest, inside herself. She tried to remember where she was going. She tried to remember where she came from. Her mind gave her nothing, only the sound of her own breathing. At times, the forest felt alive, not angry, just watching. Shadows moved where no bodies stood. Dark shapes slipped between trees. She told herself not to look too closely. Fear followed her like a quiet animal, never touching, always close. Her legs grew tired. Her hands grew cold around the lantern handle. She wondered why she kept holding it. It was useless. It gave no light. It had no warmth. Still, she did not let it go. At one point, the path ended. No direction forward, no direction back. Just fog. She stood there for a long time. Then she heard something. Not a sound exactly, more like a feeling, a pull. She turned slightly, and there it was. A narrow path, so faint it almost wasn't real. It disappeared into the fog after only a few steps. She hesitated. The path did not promise safety. It did not promise answers. It promised nothing. But staying promised less. So she stepped onto it. The forest changed slowly. The fog thinned just enough for shapes to appear. Trees leaned closer together. The air smelled different, older. The path grew rough. Roots caught her feet. Stones cut into her shoes. She stumbled more than once. Once she fell. The lantern hit the ground with a dull sound. She froze. For a moment, she thought it had broken, that whatever small comfort it gave her was gone. But when she picked it up, it was still there, unchanged, dark but intact. She laughed quietly, a short sound, almost a breath. She stood and kept going. The forest tested her. Thorns scratched her arms. Cold rain soaked her clothes. The ground turned soft and heavy under her steps. At times she felt watched again. At times she felt completely alone. Both were frightening.
She wanted to stop. She wanted to sit down and disappear into the fog, but something in her refused. Not hope, not yet. Something smaller, stubborn. Then, far ahead, she saw a shape. At first, she thought it was another trick of the fog, but as she moved closer, it stayed. Tall walls, broken towers, dark stone rising from the forest floor. A castle, old, silent, waiting. She stopped at its edge. The gates were open. One door hung crooked on its hinges. Inside was darkness. She felt fear again, deeper than before. The forest had been alive. This place felt empty. She stepped inside. Her footsteps echoed softly. The sound surprised her. The air inside was still. Dust floated slowly, like it had nowhere else to go. Rooms opened into rooms. Hallways led nowhere. There were no signs of life, no furniture, no voices, only stone. She walked through the castle, slowly. Every step felt heavy. Then she saw it, a small fire, burning alone in the center of a wide room. No wood beneath it, no torch, just flame. It was weak, but real. She stood there, staring. The fire did not move. It did not grow. It simply existed. Carefully, she approached it. She knelt and held out her lantern. Her hands shook. She did not know if it would work. She did not know why she believed it might. She tilted the lantern toward the flame. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a spark. Yes, a spark. Small, almost shy. The lantern caught fire. Warm light spread inside the glass, soft, steady, alive. She gasped. The light reflected on the stone walls, shadows pulled back. For the first time, the dark stepped away from her. She stood there, holding the lantern close. The fire in the room faded, slowly, as if its purpose was done. Soon it was gone. She did not feel afraid. She felt full, just happy. A momentum. As she stepped out of the castle, the night felt different. The forest was still there. The trees had not moved. The fog had not vanished completely. But the fear was gone. It was as if something heavy had quietly left the world. She stood still for a moment, breathing, deep, slow. The air no longer hurt her chest. The sounds of the forest softened. No whispers, no watching shadows. Only wind, only leaves. She lifted the lantern. Its light was steady now, warm, alive. The darkness did not fight it. It simply stepped aside. The path ahead slowly revealed itself, not wide, not perfect, but real. Each step forward felt easier than the last. Her body relaxed. Her thoughts grew quiet. She realized something then. All the bad things she had carried, the fear, the doubt, the weight of being lost, they were still memories, but they no longer ruled her. They belonged behind her now. She kept walking, and far ahead through the thinning fog, she saw it. A soft glow, not bright, not loud, just enough to be recognized. Home. It waited at the end of the path, patient and calm, as if it had always known she would find her way back. Her steps slowed, not from fear, from relief. For the first time, she did not need to rush. She smiled quietly. She knew now, after every darkness there is warmth, after every fog there is a path, and even when the light disappears, it can always be lit again. She held the lantern close and walked toward home.